What's up YouTube, Shadow Slayer Phoenix here, and right now I've decided to go ahead and, because nobody else has done it, a review of Yu-Gi-Oh! Heroclix Battle of the Millennium Month 1, the Organized Play Kit, or OP Kit for short. I'm going to do a review over the contents and very much on how you can work this, because a lot of people obviously are not understanding. I'm seeing it a lot on the forums. So we're going to answer some questions here. So let's start with, let's move that out of the way. Let's start with the blue eyes. It's just the basic sculpt. I don't know how the chase one comes. I don't have that one yet. But this one's tail and the two wings come detached. I went ahead and glued those in. So he's the standard sculpt. I don't know how I can get to see that. Doing this a little later, but it's alright. So he's a flyer, he has the standard attack, he's indomitable, 7 range, standard damage, and 2 targets. He can be played at 160 or 100 points. He has the Seto Kaiba and light keywords, and he's actually not that bad. I mean, I know a lot of places online have him going for ridiculous amounts. Give me 1 second. He has a total of 8 clicks of life. I don't know if you can see that at all, but no, you can't. Yeah, that's alright. Just turn back that dial again. So yeah, he's not terrible. His only unique trait is the white lightning. Let's go ahead and focus so you can read that. Blue Eyes White Dragon can use Energy Explosion. Give Blue Eyes White Dragon a free action and decrease its damage value by up to 3, and increase its range value by the same amount when attacking a single opposing character until the end of turn. So, in other words, you can either attack a character normally, or if he's targeting a single target, he has a 10 range instead. So, I mean, he's not terrible, but you can do that, or you can give him up to 10 range, but you can perplex him up by 3, and that way he'll still retain that 3 damage, but it's not really worth it, in my opinion. So let's take next a look at the Millennium Puzzle. This is the first relic that we have for Yu-Gi-Oh! Heroclix. Let's see this. Focus. There we go, there, so you can see it a little better on what it's supposed to look like. It's tiny. I don't have any of my other relics or resources pulled out right now, but as far as I know, this is the smallest one out there. This character, let's try to focus on the card again. There we go. This character can use Barrier, and when it takes damage from an attack, deal the attacker 1 unavoidable damage. So it gives Barrier, and the character can use Barrier and the Mystic's Team ability. When this character uses Barrier, it may use it to place up to 8 squares of blocking terrain. So that's actually not bad. I know a lot of people were like, oh, that's kind of useless. That's not what the Millennium Puzzle did. Well, someone actually put it in the best description I've seen. Actually, I'll show you that in a minute. They think of the barrier as a kind of representation of all the corridors in the Pharaoh's mind. Next is the Millennium Stone. I'm assuming because of all the talk about how this style works, it comes down to a lot of people don't have, or the more experienced HeroClix players don't have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scenario rules. So let's go ahead and go over this now. I'm just going to place my item in there right now. This is where it goes. We're still missing the other 7. We'll get the rod and eye, or the rod and necklace last, and then we'll go, but it goes puzzle, eye, ring, scale, key, and then month 6 we'll get those. Okay, so first things first, I'm just gonna, Okay, so force construction. At minimum points, it's 11 points. It's 7 plus 4 points per millennium item attached. The millennium stone begins the game with at least 1 and up to 7 distinct millennium items attached. The final click number of this dial is equal to 3 times the number of millennium items attached to it at the beginning of the game. So what that means is, while we only have the 1, this can only go up to its click number 3. So it's not that good right now. Equipping a character. Once per turn, give a friendly character not in its starting area a power action, and place a millennium item on their card. So let's go ahead and say we have, because we will be going over the map. So we have Blue Eyes. We're going to give him a power action to put the millennium item on his card. So now he has the millennium puzzle. If they do, return any items attached already on their card to the millennium stone, unless that dial is on click number 10 or higher. Okay, so because the millennium item is here, if I were to say, let's place the millennium eye on there, I've got to put the puzzle back. But what it also means is a lot of people had this confused on, does the character have to be at click number 10? No. The dial if the dial's on click number 10, I can have 2 items on my Blue Eyes White Dragon. So it's not awful. Friendly characters with millennium items on their card can use the ability of those relics. Pretty standard. Sacrifice to open the portal. I think this is where a lot of people got confused. At the end of any turn in which a friendly character took damage from an opponent, roll a d6 and subtract 1. Turn the dial that many times clockwise. When you reach the final click number, stop turning the dial. If you reach the final click number in fewer clicks than the result of the roll, deal 1 unavoidable damage to all friendly characters with a millennium item on their card. Once you have reached the final click number, stop turning the dial. Okay, so what that means is, we only have the 1. I can't get this to. I can only go to click number 3. Let's say Blue Eyes took a click of damage. So, I don't have a die on hand, and I don't know why I don't, but I normally do. So, no matter what, all my characters right now, it's pretty self-explanatory in a way. But moving on. The dial. During the beginning of your turn, choose a friendly character with a millennium item on its card. If a 1, 2, or 3 is currently shown on the dial, increase the chosen character's combat value by that value of that type by the amount. I remember reading something somewhere about where. Guess not. Okay, so as you turn the dial, as the numbers appear, you can increase those combat values by that number, and only by that amount. Awaken the spirits. During the end of your turn, you can take one of these things and put them into play. Equal to the number of points shown on the dial. So right now, it's only at a 5, so I can put one of these Restless Soul tokens into my starting area. It's a swarmer. I can just make a bunch of 5s for no reason whatsoever. At the end of your turn, you may place a bystander token from your summoned souls table into your starting area, but only if the total point of these friendly bystander tokens on the map is equal or less than the point value listed on the damage slot of this dial. So, if I want to summon only one that's 5 points, which is the Restless Soul, I can, because it's only 5. That's pretty much it. Zork. Give me strength. At the beginning of your... Let's see if we can't focus in on that. At the beginning of your turn, choose a friendly character with a millennium item on their card. That character modifies its combat values by +2, deals penetrating damage, and can use impervious, outwit, and probability control. And here's a picture of the Millennium Stone, all completed, just 'cause. There we go, nice focus. Okay, I remember reading somewhere on actually one of HC Realms forums that if a character with a Millennium item were to be KO'd, that Millennium item automatically returns to the stone to be used later on. Why? Because in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scenario rules, there's a ruling or a thing called respawn, so that at the beginning of each of my, during each of my turns, I can take one of my KO'd characters and put them back into my starting area, or any character from my side table. For more information on the side table, just look at like the merge / the fusion ability on most characters, and you'll figure that out on your own. Okay, give me 1 second to spray out the map. Do. And here's the map, just to give you an idea of, it is a lot of people were asking, is it a standard size map? Yeah, that's the blue eyes just sitting there. It is a standard size map. What's really nice, let me get a little more light over here. There we go. Is you have these areas, this entire bottom area. It's just all the bottom. Which is really nice to see. Where everything along the sides, oops, sorry about that, so all bottom area, just bottom area, and then you have like all through here is the secondary floor, and you have these 2 bells for hindering terrain. It is an indoor map, so we have pillars all over the place, so nice areas of just, I'm gonna hide. You have the standard size starting areas, really nice. But you also have the throne. You have a Thames throne that's just perfect to put your Millennium Stone. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And I'm sorry, I've got a gawk. I enjoy this map. Haven't really gotten a chance to use it yet. I can't wait for more of the Millennium items, specifically so we can get to that click number 10. So during month 4, I believe. But yeah, so that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Heroclix, Battle of the Millennium, month 1. I'm hoping you guys like this video. I know it was kind of a random one, and I should have practiced it a little more on certain things, but I wasn't really thinking, and I was looking on YouTube. Nobody had one up yet. I just spur the moment. As a newer heroclix player, I can't wait to see how they evolve this game. Specifically, the Millennium Stone. This thing is actually really good. But if it's... They do... Here, don't get me wrong, I agree with a lot of people that WizKids needs to either make a reissue card to give us a more clear definition on the rule of if the KO'd character that has a Millennium item, does it return to the Millennium Stone or not? I'm assuming because of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scenario rules, the respawn factor, I'm assuming yes. Yes, it does. But other than that, it's time to duel.